This is Matt Besser with the Ohio Employment Lawyers at Bolich Besser Iglesias. I'm working remotely from home, but I want to talk to you about employee rights during the coronavirus pandemic. In particular, I want to tell you about a new law that will let many Ohio employees take paid leave during the pandemic. The Families First Coronavirus Response Act is a new law passed by Congress that goes into effect on April 1st. It has two critical leave protections for employees. The first is paid emergency sick leave, and the second is partially paid leave for working parents who have to miss work because their child's school has been temporarily closed. So let me tell you a little bit about how both types of leave work. First, the paid emergency sick leave. The Families First Act gives many full-time employees up to 80 hours of paid sick leave when they need it because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Part-time employees can take this leave too, they just won't get the full 80 hours. Eligible employees can take the leave if they've been diagnosed with coronavirus, if they're under a mandatory government quarantine, if they've been told by their doctor to self-quarantine, or if they just have symptoms and are seeking a coronavirus test. Employees can also take this emergency sick leave if they are caring for a close relative who has the virus, or who has been quarantined, or who has symptoms and is seeking a diagnosis. This leave is paid, but only up to a point. Congress capped the pay at $5,110 if you take the leave for yourself, or $2,000 if you take it to care for a family member. This takes us to the second type of leave, which directly impacts working parents. The Families First Act gives working parents up to 12 weeks of job-protected leave if they need to miss work because their child's school is closed. Employees are eligible for the leave once they've been employed for 30 days. So working parents covered by the Act won't have to choose between their jobs and caring for their kids during the pandemic. There is a catch though. This child care leave is unpaid for the first 10 days. But there's also good news. The leave doesn't have to be unpaid. You can substitute existing paid leave that your employer already gives you for that first 10 unpaid days. Or you can actually use the paid emergency sick leave provision of the Families First Act to cover this 10 days. I know it's a little confusing, but they can overlap the two different provisions. The point here is the first 10 days of the child care leave don't have to be unpaid. After that first 10 days, the leave is paid at 2/3 of the employee's regular salary, up to $10,000. It's important for employees to know that for either type of leave under the Families First Act, your employer can't force you to take existing leave before you exercise your rights under the Act. To put it differently, it's employee's choice. You decide whether you take your existing employee leave or you exercise your rights to this new leave. Unfortunately, the Families First Act doesn't apply to all Ohio employees. Congress excluded first responders and healthcare workers from the law. It also excluded big employers, those with more than 500 employees. So all these employees will need to look to other employment laws to protect their jobs during the pandemic. If this is all overwhelming, it's okay. Employment law is complicated under normal circumstances, and these circumstances are anything but that. Whether or not you are covered by the Families First Act, the best thing you can do to understand and then protect your rights in the workplace is to get legal help. That's what the employment lawyers at Bolich Besser Iglesias are here for. If you have questions about employee rights during the coronavirus pandemic, call us for a free consultation at 216-464-3004 or visit our website at www.bbgohio.com. Thanks everyone, and stay safe.